that the mind's in a precarious position because it's, as it says in the text there, it's been given the task of trying to find the truth. And it has to sort through this duality of yin and yang and opposites. And its very nature is to divide things so that it can analyze things. And so whenever the mind is looking in, even on truth, it always begins dividing and analyzing. And so then this is where the paradox comes, we have to have either or, but it can't be both and. But in the realm of awareness, which is transcendent, and it's beyond the realm of two powers, what we call duality. It sees clearly, and the paradox is vanquished, and the struggle is vanquished. And so, but if you speak from the place of the awareness and the mind hears it, the trouble with the words is because it begins that process of, well, that word means this and this means, and so then he said, I need to bring up one paradox. But this, when you say this, it means this. And this is where all human, argument and all human need to classify truth by word. But of course, we know that the truth never can be a prisoner of the words. But what was revealed to me in this writing it and somewhat after was the mind is a bridge. The mind at first is a bridge to take you to the other shore. So we need all these words, and that's the path to point you. And we read all these things, and each thing that we read, we try to dive into the truth for those moments of pure awareness, right? And that was my quote, that the truth must be perceived from within the truth. On the outside looking in, we can't really perceive it because the mind looks at it and begins this division process, or looks at it and thinking it was revealed to it, begins dividing it by words. But if that same bridge, the mind, is used and you enter to the other shore, and you now reside on the shore of awareness, now the mind becomes a vessel through which words are used to contain that truth by understanding, and then therefore from understanding can share it with others through words. So bridges go two ways, right? and so, we often, when we have these transcendent experiences, we go, it's beyond words, I can't put it into words, etc. And it is true, but it was always the pointing of words that propelled us into this. It's like we sit and then we relax, and then all the mind goes away, and now we're there. And we can't understand it in words at first, but we always come back, and the mind wants to take a report and all the other things. But it is important that we create a vessel of structure of words so we can hold it in our understanding. And these words that I wrote, to me, are such a web of understanding in word, so that a deeper understanding that's beyond words can at least be held within them and communicated. So depending on where you are, somebody else could use them to propel them in. I think Jamie was mentioning that. It's like this person said these things, and I just get put into this other dimension. And then I come back and I remember that the dimension, well, we have to remember that happened through words. Even though there's a living word expresses itself through the words. And it takes us into this greater truth, but it also becomes a bridge so we can cross back into the world with that greater truth. And these words that I said hold a cradle, a resting place for these gems to be held in my mind as an understanding, so that I can walk with it and then find various ways of communicating it. Because once I understand the basis of the knowledge or wisdom that's in the basket, I can be creative in using different language depending on who I'm talking to. Because the truth itself is not really language based,
Right.
this idea that, I don't like when you say the word God, I don't like the word you say word Father. Well, this is all due to the mind's and the heart's reaction, because the heart been wounded. So maybe it was wounded by God, so it doesn't like that word, and maybe it's wounded by his father, so I don't like the word father, I like the word mother. So these are all human condition. The mind is still sensitive, and I like this word, and I'm like, we'll change the word. But
Mhm.
after a while, it's like, okay, stop focusing on the word and go underneath the word.
Mhm.
Because the very same person that says, um, I don't like to hug people because I'm mistrustful or whatever. So when you come up to them like, I don't hug, and so we have to respect this, because they've been wounded, and so they're trying to protect themselves. And obviously, they don't need to be hugged by an untrustworthy person, but what that person really needs is a hug.
Okay.
And so this is where I become aware that often the thing that we need, that we're using to protect ourselves, is actually the thing that we need to actually heal ourselves. So for the person who rejects the word father, they need it the most. And for the person that rejects the word mother, they need it the most. So this right-wing person says, it's not a mother, there's nothing female about it. They need the mother. So for you, all I'm going to say is mother, 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 mother. The other one, we say father, father, father. But anyways, these are only concepts, because otherwise these things are so abstract.
Mhm.
And this is the reason why we're given a physical life and a physical body, to take away from the abstractness. And so these things like eyes to hear, ears to hear,
Mhm.
taste, smell,
Mhm.
feeling, intuition, all these things, walking, using your hands, um, father, mother, connected, brother, sister. They're all metaphors that this greater
Mhm.
reality is using all these forms to communicate to us. It's using all the trees and the plants and the flowers and the fruits and the stars and the sun. Everything is a communication. I'm revealing to you my mystery continuously through all that is. And you're part of all this is. And yet you in your own mind have divided yourself and divided all these different truths and everything. How cute you are. Gucci, Gucci, goo. Yeah, you think you can hold the truth,
Sure.
Suzanne and I were watching this show, and it was the scientists, they were talking about the theory of alternate dimensions, and they said perhaps consciousness, right? It ends here, it just begins somewhere else in some other part of the cosmos. And I said, isn't that basically what spiritual people are saying? And yet they're, no, 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 that can't be true. So they create their own bridge to that same reality through science, because somehow we think we can get in and regulate and control it. Once you relax, you realize it's everywhere. It's in science, it's in each person's different philosophies. It's in each one of the religions is another look into it. It's in the trees, it's in the stars, it's in you. And then, so then, well, why does this division create? Well, the mind believes it can divide it and makes the attempt to divide it. And so the only error, what we would call sin, is in the division.
Mhm.
It's that, oh, only we have it, they don't have it. Oh, if we get rid of these people, then we'll be free. No, no, they're a part of you. If you do get rid of them, you're getting rid of a part of yourself. So the greater revelation irons these things out. And the mind, of course, trickily tries to come back in, and oh, poor mind, you got to have the whole life thinking it was your own. And now suddenly this greater awareness comes up, and like, I'm the new kid on the block, I'm king now. And mind has to say, okay, I'm just the servant, of the king, and so it takes a while for the mind to adjust and realize that it's not actually a threat. It's not an attempt, there's no attempt being made to eliminate it. It's actually going to expand and become in greater service and become even more than it ever was when it was under the delusion that it itself could hold the entire answer of the universe, which we're all prey to, thinking that we're on the verge of solving the theory of everything. To some degree, what I wrote is some light reflection of how those things can be interconnected, but you can't grasp it and you can't formalize it, but you can know it inwardly. You can awaken to it. You can realize it, and then relax as you continue to grow in it, and as it continues to reveal itself to you. And that's it. I'm going to have to go,
Yes.
but of course, this is an ongoing conversation.
Yeah. One more thing, and then
Yeah. To be fair, but just
yeah.
don't say anything that makes me want to say something.
Okay, that's gonna be hard, but I'll try. I wanted to just say one thing, that your method of through question is very wise, because you know, truth is nothing to do with, as we say many times, an answer has everything to do about the question, right? So there you go. So I just thought that would be a good way to.
It is, and questions, of course, are what propels the quest. That's why they call them questions.
Yeah.
And it also allows the individual to find it for themselves, which is absolutely the point. Doesn't matter me talking about God or what my experience was. If it wasn't an experience for you, I agree with you. It's crickets, man.
Yeah.
It's dead. No wonder you come to different conclusions.
You're now only spirit.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
The gods are messing with us.
Yes, they love that.
Yeah, yeah. So what were we saying? Oh yeah. For that person who says that, they normally are very scientifically aware, so they can tell you, you know, how long when the Big Bang and the cosmos has been created for, 13.8 billion years, etc. So with that being said, could you agree that your appearance within that same cosmos is very brief? And your experience within the very brief span of your life and what you've been able to absorb in that tiny little mind of yours cannot be the fullness of reality. So just be humble, because it happens to people all the time. Like, I experience, okay.
Right.
So, I'm not blaming you for saying it doesn't exist, because of course
You
for
didn't
you,
see
it exists. You didn't experience it. Of course, I only have to bow, but I'm just saying, don't come to the conclusion then that it doesn't exist and shut the door to the possibility of experience because of the conclusion. Now you're blocking your own way into the greater mystery. And I like when Gong used to say, who knows Shaolin? And then he'd watch to see if anyone I know Shaolin. And then we were all too afraid to do it in front of him. So then he would say, good, because if you'd said you knew Shaolin, I was going to say, you're a lot of shit, He said, whatever you think it is, it's bigger than that. And he said, even I don't know fully what it is. That's why we're here together. We're exploring it, right? And so it is with this truth. I know it's this idea. I'm saying, oh, I found it. No, I haven't contained it. But what I've entered into is that truth.
Right.
And it's okay for me to now say, oh, that's it. I'm not saying it like, let me tell you what the truth is. That's what I'm saying in a question mark. And let's continue to ask questions. But inside my soul, I can rest, because I'm in the thing that I set off on my quest to find. And now it's unfolding through experience and expression of it from this point forward. It's no longer looking to say, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? No, it's the underpinning of my being. It's the underpinning of all creation. It's the underpinning of the great source of both of those. And I've emerged in awareness within it all.
Mhm.
And I can see that statement again, like I said, all is one and one is all. I heard it in a song when I was 18. And I was like, yeah, dude, that totally rocks. And then I was on the outside looking in though.
Mhm.
And the rest of my journey has been, no, now I know all is one and one is all. I'm experiencing all as one and one is all. I'm experiencing God and I as one. I'm experiencing Tao and I as one. I'm experiencing my own nature as one with all of it. And so this idea of duality or not duality, it's the non-duality in the midst of the 10,000 different expressions of it in time and space. And it's all part of one thing. And knowing it as one is totally different, because that's when the law falls away, the letter of the law falls away, the containing of it through doctrine and pathway and everything falls away. And the spirit of the law arises. And so, you could say it's the same, thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not kill. One is not understanding, and so following the rule, thou shalt not kill, as a moral, as a
Mhm.
way to be a better human being. The other one is just an extension of the reality of your being. I know who I am, so I don't kill. It's not thou shalt not kill. It's like, it's not even a possibility in oneness to kill. And so, like I was telling Suzanne today, I'm sitting on the mountain after that long climb, and my butt is sitting on the earth. And I can feel the footsteps of everyone coming up the mountain.
Mhm.
I can feel the argument and chatter that they're saying, talking about the path that they're finding and that their way is the best way up the mountain and the other ways are not the way up the mountain. But their feet are hitting the mountain that I'm sitting on. And so they don't get to know that actually these pathways are irrelevant. It's just the mountain. But it is true, you've got to find a way yourself. And the way you want that the one you're on is the best, is good, as long as you don't worship the path and keep your ass moving up the mountain. And so you can get to the vista point of seeing that it's one and that every pathway came to the same point.
Mm.
That's totally different. That's totally different than everything we take to get there. And yes, we do need something. Even the path that I'm recommending, always like the Keeper of the Flame or the Universal School of Self and all this, it's still a path, but what we try to do is create the most expanded path
Right.
that starts with the eternal realities that it's meant to lead you to, rather than putting those way off there as some reward for getting it right. Why not just start with the thing? Why not just start with love? Why not just start with peace? Why not start with joy? All these secrets actually are right here. God is here. Right? Enlightenment is here. The Tao is here. They're all here. There, because the only place anything exists is in the here and now. And that's the only place you're going to find them. And the rest of it is a journey of you trying to decide if you're ready. And the journey itself is the getting ready. Because you were looking for the great and powerful Oz to solve all your problems. And the great and powerful Oz, well, if you want me to solve these problems, you need to do this and do that and do this to make yourself good enough. That's religion 101,
Mhm.
right? Even Buddhists do that. You need to sit with your beads, you need to do this, eat this, say these, sit in front of the statue, put the incense, say the mantras. But after all that, if you look behind the curtain, there's just a little guy who's pulling the levers. And he's not giving you courage. He's not giving you love. He's not giving you wisdom. He's saying, didn't you know you had it all along? And the journey is what brought it out for you to realize you had it, right? You, Lion, you showed through the journey and the struggle that you went through that you have courage. You, Scarecrow, showed through the journey that you have wisdom. You, Dorothy, showed through the journey that you have love. And now you can return to that same world as a messenger of everything that you have. And you'll say, there's no place like home, when at first home was unbearable. And now you can say, I love you, Annie Ann. I love you, Uncle Henry. I love you. And I'm just so happy to be here. So anyways, let that be the drop the mic moment.
Yes. Okay.
And I love you, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. I love you too.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Thank you.